Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today with the introduction here of SATANA joining the game now as in Marvel Strike Force. So we can actually go ahead and start using Red Star Orbs on her, and as well, guys, as you may have seen yesterday with her inclusion into the game, there has been these Path to SATANA Orbs. We'll see how that's going to be coming into the game, but more importantly as well, if you guys are saving and using Power Cores, you can actually get the direct shards of her through the Devil's Daughter Orb. Now, let's take a look at her kit. Remember, she's the last and final member here of the Accursed team, rounding out the rest of the other two that have been recently added. And remember, I do believe this is going to be the last team for the Harbinger before the Fantastic Four obviously getting announced already. So I think that's basically a wrap for all the Chapter 1 teams that we have, guys. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at her kit. We're going to be breaking down what exactly is recommended. If we take a look at, if you preemptively planning to use this team into Cosmic Crucible, remember that's what they're intended for. That's what we're going to be taking a look at. Now, guys, having said that, remember they just added the Helverine shards as well in the event. So I do suspect that in the coming weeks, we'll likely get some sort of free-to-play aspect of Satana in case you guys don't want to purchase her. But how we've been seeing these character additions into the game anyways has been through the way of the Intel store, right? So Helverine officially added there. So we suspect, obviously, with as these new characters and teams come out, it usually takes roughly 2 to 3 weeks that we see them in some way, shape, or form in the game. And as you can see, almost got Helverine unlocked and no power core spent for that. The Hood is next, and then following that should be Satana. Okay, so Burning Touch is her basic ability here. You can see she's going to be stealing 10% from the primary and redistributing 80% of it back to herself and the Accursed ally. So it's a really strong kind of a passive ability right there, just to bypass the healing and as well the heal blocks that's going to be sustained, right? So this ignores passives that trigger also when they drop below that certain threshold. Amazing. So you can see as we level this ability up, additional piercing, redistribution of HP. We do see this actually increase as you bring this ability up. And then lastly, with the T4 upgrade here in Crucible, if this character's health is above 50%, she's also going to be reducing the duration of all negative effects on self and Accursed allies. So definitely a nice bonus there. But remember, these basic abilities, as sexy as some of them can sound, the special ultimates and passive are usually ones that take priority. So in the meantime, we'll hold off on upgrading this for now. Let's take a look at the rest of the kit and make that as the final assessment. Soul Drain special ability. Once again, a stealing redistribution ability here, as you can see, very similar to the basic. Difference is obviously this is going to be now impacting all enemies. You can see once again, ignoring passives that trigger, characters also killed by this attack cannot be revived. So any of these kind of health stealing abilities makes it so that she's going to be a very powerful Dark Dimension character. As you can see, we bring this ability up, she's redistributing more HP, she's stealing more HP, she's clearing all battlefield effects on the allied side. And then she also repeats this attack. And then lastly, with the upgrade here in Cosmic Crucible, so it's nice that these upgrades are just relating to Cosmic Crucible, because then you can make that decision, right? You're really essentially getting these bonuses in the Cosmic Crucible game mode if you're engaged in that. So stealing additional HP percentage, as you can see, and Crucible, if this character has 2 more Accursed allies, she's also going to be repeating this attack 2 more times. So a pretty devastating special to say the least, almost essentially repeating it, right? So this is a very good upgrade right here. Definitely highlighting this one for sure. A Devour Essence. Once again, stealing HP and redistributing back to the Accursed allies, also bypassing the heal block. But this one only impacts the primary target, so keep that in mind. She clears all battlefield effects once again on the ally side, and this attack also cannot be dodged. And once again, that bypass where it does not trigger any character effects. So you can see with this one, there's a little bit of extra fluff with this ability here. Redistribution of HP, flipping positives into negatives. She flips all vulnerables to defense up for herself and villain allies. So that's amazing synergy to kind of keep that open for theory crafting, especially if you can pair up with other villain characters on the team. And as well, if the primary target does not have any positive effects, she's going to be inflicting trauma, so pretty powerful already right there. She repeats this attack, she flips all negatives on all Accursed allies into evasion, and as well, if this character has 1 more Accursed allies, she's also going to be repeating once again. If she is above 50% HP, she's going to be adding some additional protection for the team, so immunity for 2 turns, and as well, once again, repeating this attack. And then finally, as we kind of seen with the basic and special, this T4 upgrade once again only really relates in Cosmic Crucible, but she's going to be repeating this attack 1 more time. So it's already a powerful ultimate. To get that again is definitely a highlight for sure. Special and ultimate looking really good for upgrades. And then last but not least, the passive ability here. On enemy death, she steals 5% HP from the enemy with the highest HP and redistributing it once again, ignoring that passive that triggers. And as well, in Cosmic Crucible, all characters cannot gain barrier and all characters cannot gain regen. As we level this ability up though, there are some specific bonuses just for Cosmic Crucible. Until this character completes a turn, herself and all accursed allies cannot gain defense down and cannot have their speed bar reduced. Absolutely huge in the Cosmic Crucible game mode. Until this character completes a turn, all accursed allies cannot gain slow, ability block, or trauma. So it really prevents those other teams that have those detrimental initial effects at the start from fully impacting them until they actually take a turn. And then as well, stealing an additional 5% per accursed ally, up to a maximum of 20%. On enemy death, she also gets additional speed bar. So there's a speed bar mechanic that's very, very similar to how some of the characters essentially accumulate speed when enemy falls, right? Such as if you think about Carnage and how the Hive Mind team works. And then lastly, with this upgrade here with the T4 for the passive ability here, if this character has any accursed allies that does not have defense up or minor defense up, this character also gains 25% damage reduction and resistance. So essentially, if they don't have buffs, she's going to be providing some way, shape, or form a buff internally for the team. And once again, guys, remember all her abilities being able to bypass is pretty massive, absolutely massive here. So obviously it's pretty early to say what the ISO-8 is going to be, because I can see definitely a lot of options here. You can, a mix of her abilities actually do damage across the board, so that's where there's some potential options. But let's talk about the passives real quickly here and the upgrades. The special, the ultimate, and the passive definitely make the most sense. If you want to maximize bang for buck, I definitely do think that this passive is a must because it gives natural protection, so you got to upgrade this one right away. The special, I think, is better than the ultimate because it does repeat, and as well, it steals from all enemies. However, the ultimate ability does have a bigger blast effect in terms of overall output. So I think all three of them are very important, and then really the basic ability is kind of icing on the cake. If you want that additional bonus here of piercing damage, but as well reducing the duration of all negative effects on the accursed. So a bit of a supportive kind of ability here if you want that, but the special, ultimate, and passive essentially make it look like it's going to make her kit work fully. So again, because of her being in that supportive role, there's a couple things you could do. If you want to maximize the damage output, you could potentially slaughter him as a ISO-8 Raider, so that way she's also casting vulnerable across the board. Seeing as how her basic ability does actually steal 10% HP and redistributes, a Striker ISO-8 also would make the most sense too. So I think there's a mix there. If you have any issues with survivability wise, obviously she can also be coming in as a fortifier, so that way she stays alive and in battle and can take hits. But otherwise, I don't see that issue because there's obviously a strong protector on the team as well. So I think having an ISO-8 Raider or Striker is the go-to, but let me know what you guys think. That in a nutshell is the review here, guys. And as for unlocking her, like I said, guys, my focus right now is actually saving power cores and essentially getting ready for the Fantastic Four team. So that's my game plan right now. So I don't recommend actually using your power cores, but you need to fully complete the Accursed team for obviously this Accursed team tower. Now there's an opportunity to do so in the next 2 weeks. So hope this is helpful, guys. Let me know what you think in comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.